Hi, my name is Asya and I'm doing my webtoon for over a year. And in today's video, I want to share my story with you of like how I started my comic, and maybe it can give you some inspiration and motivation to start your own comic or any other thing you want to start. So let's get started. So I'm naturally a choleric. It's super easy for me to get the spark to do something, and as easy as lose the spark. Even though I trained myself to overcome this trait of mine, I still have it in the back of my mind. So it can be pretty complicated to do this thing for a person like me, right? Yes, I had an idea back in 2017-18. I wrote a story containing of 50 chapters. Can you imagine me looking at these 50 chapters, not being sure if I'm even able to draw 3 of them? So I was just beating around the bush, looking at these chapters and like potential chapters and thinking that one day I can draw them. One day, not today. The problem is it's too big. If you look at an elephant and you have to eat it, but you don't know if you will like it, if you will like the process of consuming an elephant, but you already started it, and if you stop it will go bad. So it's the same with these 50 chapters. I've never drawn comics before, except that time in elementary school when I tried to draw one, but it doesn't count. So I don't even know if I like the process of doing it. Like, you have to draw the whole story. You will have some responsibilities. Like, if someone loves your story, they will want it to continue. And if you will stop doing it just because you don't like the process, it's like, it's a lot of responsibilities. So time flied and the comic even tried to be started. Then at the end of 2022 I had a thought, like, if I won't draw my comic, no one will draw my own comic. Because I still wanted to do it, and I still had this idea on the back of my mind, even though I was super scared looking at the 50 chapters I wrote. And I thought, let's try. I wrote a completely different story. I thought it will be like 10 chapters maximum. This way I can say that I tried. I definitely can finish these 10 chapters, even if I didn't like it. I still would finish it just because it's like 10 chapters. And I also can say that I finished something. And like, after finishing it, I can have some finished product. So I can say, look, I've tried to draw a comic. I perhaps didn't like the process, but I have this finished story. Nice. So I wrote a little story. It wasn't even a story, just a concept, like what is happening there. And then I started to draw it. First chapter took me around 3 weeks because I didn't know how I want the finished product look like. I didn't know which brushes I want to use. I didn't know how should I make the process fast enough. At first I even had to spend an extra time to clean the sketch, because at first I thought that I would like it to be like sketchy sketch. But after looking at it, I got that I don't like it, and I had to clean all the sketch and do a lot of extra work. Later the process became faster and faster, and now I spend around like 5 or... no, wait. I spent around a week, like 6 or 7 days on 2 chapters, because I draw it at the same time. You can watch the video of me planning it, how I decided to draw, how I decided to post every week. So I'm doing like slightly shorter chapters, but I do much more updates. So now I can spend like a week, like a whole week, not a working week, on 2 chapters. And I think it's a nice progress from 3 weeks on 1 chapter. Also, at the beginning, it was super hard for me to make my characters talk. Like, I couldn't even imagine how I can make people, not me, other people, even though it's my imaginary characters, how can I make them talk? Like, they are different people. So how can I put my words into their mouth? So that's why the first chapter was without any dialogues, any words, except for the last page. It wasn't like a really deep thought of mine to do just a narrative chapter. I just couldn't make them talk. But later something happened and they started to talk inside of my mind. Like, it was the second chapter. Since the second chapter they started to talk, and I'm not forcing them to talk. They are just appearing in my mind talking. But if they are not appearing in my mind already talking, then I'm doing a narrative chapter again. That means that they don't have to talk. It's not that important in this chapter. So in this case, I just leave this chapter without any words, trying to convey the event just by pictures and what my characters are doing. And naturally, the comic became bigger. First it was 10 chapters, then some chapters started appearing in between some events. Like, I had a list of the events that have to happen, and then I looked at it and I was thinking, like, it's too early this event to happen right now. I have to put something before this event. So I got much more chapters, and after that we had like 9 extras. I didn't expect it to be so many extras. I thought it would be like maybe 5 of them, but I kept drawing and drawing, and I sincerely like this process of making my comic. I sincerely enjoy doing it, even though at some times I'm just dying while drawing it, but still I really like this story to happen, and I like so much seeing people to enjoy my story. Like, I read all the comments, and honestly it makes me so happy to see all the comics about my storytelling skills, which I thought is non-existent, because honestly it's my first story I created, except that from the elementary school. I've never wrote any like fan fiction or just stories. I always thought that it's not possible for me to create a story. I was drawing just pictures, just some illustrations of my girls doing this and that, and it never was a full story of them doing something and having some experience, and seeing comments about people having a lot of emotions because of my story, and them saying that my storytelling skills are, I'd say, good. I cannot say like great or nice. Okay, it's nice. No. But you understand what I mean. I'm not a writer, I'm an artist. And I'm super happy to see all these comments. I'm not answering the comments because it's super overwhelming for me to do, and I really want to answer all them. But I just read it and I'm crying over there. And it really feels like something super special for me. So I'm really happy that I gave myself a chance to start my story. So if you wanted to start a story or anything else, maybe this video is a sign for you. So you can start it. Start from something small, and if you really like it, it can grow bigger and bigger. If you want to read my comic or support me on Patreon, which is super important for me, or like Ko-Fi, or if you want to buy my prints, all links are in the description below. I'm starting my second volume of my comic now. I'm super nervous because I'm drawing a story about my girls, my initial girls, Dana and Maya, whom I've been drawing since 2016. And this was the story of the 50 chapters I initially wrote. So Luna and Jamie will appear eventually. I plan to continue drawing also about them. But now I want to tell the story of my girls I love so much. And like, if you want to read my comic, please, I will be happy. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.